My friend went missing 4 years ago. I just heard his voice in the forest. We grew up together in a small town surrounded by thick forests that held our childhood memories and, eventually, my worst nightmare. Jake was always the adventurous one, the kind of guy who would wander off the beaten path just to see where it led. The day he disappeared, we were supposed to meet up for a hike. He never showed. The search teams combed the woods for weeks, but there wasn't a single trace of him, not even a footprint. It was like he'd vanished into thin air. The town moved on. People stopped talking about it, but I never did. I couldn't let go, couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. Every time I hiked those trails, I'd find myself calling out his name, hoping for a response that never came. Until last night. I was out in the woods again, trying to clear my head. The trees were bare, their twisted branches reaching out like skeletal fingers in the dim evening light. There was a chill in the air, the kind that makes your skin prickle. I had my flashlight, but I barely used it. This was familiar territory, the same paths I'd walked hundreds of times before. But as I reached the old clearing, something felt different. The air grew heavy, thick with a strange, suffocating silence. No wind, no rustling leaves, not even the distant hoot of an owl. Just an oppressive, unnatural stillness. Then, I heard it. At first it was just a faint murmur, so quiet I thought I was imagining things. But then it grew louder, clearer. A voice, coming from deeper within the woods, calling my name. It was Jake. His voice was exactly as I remembered it, as if no time had passed at all. But it wasn't just the voice. It was the way he said my name, with that same teasing lilt he always used when he was trying to get me to follow him somewhere I shouldn't. "Come on, man! Over here!" The words echoed through the trees, beckoning me deeper into the forest. My heart raced, a mix of fear and hope. I wanted to believe it was really him, that somehow, after all this time, he'd found his way back. But something was off. I can't explain it, but the way his voice cut through the silence, it didn't sound natural. It was too clear, too deliberate, like it was being played on a loop. I didn't move at first. I just stood there, my breath fogging in the cold air, my mind spinning with 1,000 possibilities. Then the voice called out again, this time closer, too close. "Come on, man! Over here!" It wasn't just the proximity that unnerved me. It was the tone. There was an urgency in it now, a kind of desperation that made my skin crawl. Against my better judgment, I took a step forward, then another, the leaves crunching underfoot louder than they should have been in the eerie quiet. The flashlight beam wavered in my shaking hand as I swept it across the trees, searching for any sign of movement. The voice kept calling, leading me deeper into the forest, farther away from the familiar trails. The deeper I went, the darker it got, until the flashlight was the only thing keeping the blackness at bay. The trees closed in around me, their branches intertwining above like a canopy, blocking out the last traces of moonlight. And then, just ahead, I saw it. A faint, shadowy figure standing between the trees. My heart leapt into my throat. "Jake!" I called out, my voice trembling. The figure didn't move. "Jake!" I shouted again, louder this time, but still, there was no response. Just that same, eerie silence. The figure seemed to waver, like a mirage, before it turned and vanished into the darkness. "Come on, man! Over here!" The voice was behind me now. I spun around, the flashlight beam cutting through the trees, but there was nothing there. I was disoriented, lost in a forest I knew like the back of my hand, and the realization hit me hard. I wasn't alone. Something was out there, something that knew Jake's voice, something that was leading me away from safety, deeper into the woods where no one would find me. Panic set in. I started to backtrack, retracing my steps, but the voice followed me, closer and closer, always just out of sight. "Come on, man, over here!" It echoed all around me, impossible to pinpoint, like it was coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. My breath came in ragged gasps as I ran, branches tearing at my clothes, the flashlight flickering wildly. I could feel it now, whatever it was, closing in on me, its presence pressing against me like a weight. I was being hunted, toyed with, and every instinct screamed at me to get out, to run as fast as I could. But the voice kept calling, relentless, inescapable. Finally, I burst through the trees into the clearing where I had started, and for a moment, I thought I was safe. But then, in the middle of the clearing, illuminated by the pale moonlight, was the figure. It stood there, motionless, just watching me.